Moving on, ocean farming startup Sea6 Energy bagged $18.5 million in a Series B funding round from the likes of BASF Venture Capital and Aquaspark. The startup, which produces and processes tropical red seaweed, is focused on reducing India's dependency on imported oil by replacing fossil fuels with biofuels. While this endeavor is still a while away, the company has converted the seaweed into biostimulants and hopes to become a $100 million company. Here's a report by me and Jacilia K on how Sea6 Energy is contributing to India's blue economy. Deep down in the sea thrives red seaweed, naturally working towards mitigating climate change by reducing effects of ocean acidification and deoxygenation. Red seaweed, also called asparagopsis, flourishes largely in the tropical waters in Asia that provide a conducive environment for them to grow.
When we grow seaweed, we actually absorb carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. If there's a runoff of nutrients, we can absorb that from the oceans. So growing seaweed is really very healthy for the oceans.
Bengaluru-based biofuel company Sea6 Energy is in the business of growing red seaweed and turning it into biostimulant products used to protect crops and feed for animals. However, the startup understands that the potential and wealth of red seaweed doesn't need to end there and hopes to use this precious plant to create biofuels that can replace fossil fuels. The startup, which was incubated in IIT Madras in 2010, enjoys the first mover benefit, admits Sri Kumar.
Everything that we are doing actually improves and works towards mitigating climate change.
Some of the company's commercialized products include agrograin biostimulant, AgFort, which promotes plant health and animal feed additives. But Sea6 Energy has bigger plans for products it is developing and those that haven't found a market yet.
And our ultimate goal is to make India self-sufficient in its energy needs by actually carrying out agriculture on sea, by growing a lot of seaweeds and using those seaweeds to ultimately convert into biofuel to replace all the crude oil that we import. So that's the goal of the company. And on the way, we have many pit stops that seaweed can be converted into crude oil. Okay. Now, in order for that to become a reality, we need to be able to make sure that the seaweed is produced at very low prices and on very large quantities. That involves ocean farming at scale, very large scale. And therefore, what Sea6 is doing is inventing all the necessary technologies to cultivate the oceans on a large scale, like inventing sea tractors, for example, and also the associated technologies to convert the seaweed that is produced into useful products. Now, what happens is that this is a long journey.
Sea6 has developed technology that allows it to go into deep waters to farm seaweed. Currently, it is selling seaweed-based products that have commercial value, even though the products are costlier than the average fertilizer available in the market. The biostimulant is a patented product which is exported to the US, Europe, Southeast Asia, and even Latin America. Sea6 Energy is also witnessing an increase in demand for its feed additive for shrimp and fish production as well.
So the way we have gone around addressing this is to look at other products that we could be making from seaweed, which can be made profitably, even when the seaweed prices are higher than our ultimate goal. So, for example, one of the first products that we have commercialized is a product for agriculture. So it's a biostimulant. And what it does is that it improves the efficiency with which plants utilize fertilizer. It improves the photosynthetic efficiency of plants. And therefore, when you use the biostimulant product, which we have derived from our seaweed, it's a patented product, then you can get anywhere between 10 to 30% more yield from the same cultivated area. So that's very, very beneficial.
As per FAO data, nearly 35 million tons of seaweed was produced in 2019 globally, about half of which is red seaweed. Meanwhile, the market volume for seaweed products was almost $17 billion in 2020 and is projected to grow at a CAGR of 12.6% to reach $30.2 billion by 2025, according to markets and market data. In case of India, it produced a meager 34,000 tons of seaweed in 2021, according to the Central Marine Fisheries Research Institute, but India has the potential to produce around 9.7 million tons of seaweed per year, added CMFRI. The government has earmarked 640 crore rupees exclusively under the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana to promote seaweed production in the country and targeted production of more than 11.2 lakh tons by 2025. For Sea6 Energy, such government schemes will help the overall development of the seaweed ecosystem. At present, the company is eyeing around $8 to $10 million in revenue and aspires to become a $100 million company in the next few years. But to meet this growth aspiration, the company will need more funds to build production facilities for their next range of products and furthering the research in biodegradable products. In Mumbai with Jasilia K. Arundhati Ramanan.